The NLCS, the end could be wrapped up for tonight. As here in the National League Division Series, we're in Atlanta, as the Philadelphia Phillies have a 3-1 series lead of the Atlanta Braves here in Atlanta. And we're about ready to go with Game 5, as the Braves are trying to crawl back from a 3-0 deficit they won yesterday. Well, it has been a wild and wacky and crazy series, and we end our time here in Atlanta. You can see the first game was 6-5 Philadelphia, crazy Philly comeback. Second, 6-1, that was all Mike Schmidt. 3, Philadelphia came back after blowing a 4-run lead, and then Atlanta won yesterday. Bahena against Steve Carlton. Atlanta again, they feel if they can win, then they can go to game number 6, and anything can happen if they win. We'll see in a second. So here's Rick Bahena, 6'2", 170, 23 years of age. And Bahena will be ready to go for the Atlanta Braves. And he will start off with Bob Dernier, who took Vaughn Hayes' position after he got hurt. We're going to be ready to go. And we're going to be underway for the Division Series Game 5 down low 1-0. Last game, Dernier dropped a lot. He was 0 for 4. And Rick Bahena, high to left field. And underneath, that's easy, 1 out. 1 out there, and here's Vaughn. So Vaughn will be back in the lineup here. He did nothing during the wild card game, during the first game. No hits or anything. First time he's back in the lineup. Last time he was in, he was 0 for 2 and he walked twice. And here's Bahena inside, and it'll be 1-1. HC0023, good to see you here. It's the 1983 NL Division Series. It's real-life standings, but I expanded the playoffs to today's format to see who the true World Series champion would be if we extended their playoffs to our format today. And it'll, even though they had 2 divisions, we go by overall record, with the first division winner being the first seed, the second division winner being the second seed, and then everybody else being the wild card teams. That's going to be an out. In 3, 4, and 5. The 2 outs, and here's Mike Schmidt. Mike, 3 home runs, 8 RBI, and he was the series until he came back to earth. And that's a strike. Last 4 games, he scored 3 runs. He has scored a run a game, and then last game he went silent. That'll be fouled off, 0-2. Rick Bahena wants to get out of this inning with only 10 pitches. And he does. Wow, Atlanta looking good in their half of it. Playing defense in the first, and now they're coming to bat. Rick Bahena looked good, and it is still 0-0. We go to the bottom of the first. So here comes Steve Carlton. 1 start here, his first game. 8.31 ERA, was terrible that first game. 4 1/3. Gave up 7 hits. Struck out 3, walked 2. And he averaged 2.08 walks and hits for every inning he pitched. Brett Butler, the future Dodger. He'll start MLB ball 1 down below. Last game he was 2 for 4 and had 2 singles. I'm surprised Steve Carlton had such a bad game last time. Actually, he didn't really have the worst game until the 5th inning. In the 5th inning, all of a sudden he gave up 4 runs. And then Mike Schmidt came back and got him back with a grand slam. It'll be 2-1 to Butler. Butler has 87 speed. So that means he's going to be good. High 3-1. Three balls, one strike. That'll be a little roller. They pick it up and Butler gets on first base. You got to bring him in for Brett Butler. He'll lay him down like that and get on. You're going to be looking at the steal here, and here's Rafael Ramirez. That'll be a strike. The 286 in the postseason. He has 2 RBIs in this series. He throw to first, he's safe. Brett Butler is one of the fastest, but there are some 90s in this playoff. There he goes. They got the pitch out. They should get him, and they do. They knew he was going, and that's what I wonder. I always believed in the first inning you don't steal, because what if the pitcher is awful, and he ends up giving up 2 base hits, and you end the inning with no runs, and you could have had him in. 1-1 now. Bottom of the first, 1 out. Ramirez high, 2-1. You never know. What if first guy gets on, and then his second guy, third guy, fourth guy, they all walk? Don't want to run yourself out of the inning, and it's 3-1. You can see that here. 3-1 with 1 out. And that'll be on the ground, up the middle. That might have been a double play. That'll be 1 out. That pitch out was a great call. HC0023 was a great call for the Braves. You have Butler, Ramirez, and Murphy. Bob Horner, Bob Watson, Benedict, Hubbard, Chambliss, and Harper. And Bob Watson is a name we haven't seen much of. So here's Dale now. 2 outs, bottom of the first. I guess an argument could be made. It would have been a double play anyway. Had he hit into it and Brett Butler, it might have been close at second, but, you know, so it'll be 1-1 to Dale. One of the most underrated hitters of all time. He's like Tony Gwynn. You never hear him when you say greatest hitters of all time, because people are moronic enough to use championships in baseball. Struck him out. And that'll be the end of the first. At the end of 1, it's 0-0. As we go to the second inning, Bo Diaz will be up now. One of the things that I was saying before is I hate it when people use championships to determine a single baseball player's worth. They don't pitch. They get up 3, 4, 5 times a game. High pop fly. And deep, and it won't be deep enough. To the wall, 1 out. So people go, oh, Nolan Ryan only played 1 World Series, and that was 1969. Yeah, well, he's not the other pitching staff, you know? So you have Brett Butler, Dale Murphy, and Terry Harper in the outfield. Horner, Ramirez, Hubbard, and Chambliss. And Bruce Benedict. What you have is, if you're great individually, you perform well in World Series, is yes, I could say that. But we've had many players perform well in World Series and lose. So 2 pitches, 2 outs. This has been a wild and wacky series. As you can see, it's 3-1 Atlanta. The other National League Series, the Montreal Expos, 4-0. The American League, 3-2 Orioles over Detroit. Detroit just won. And the Blue Jays and White Sox are 2-2. And Gary Matthews now. He's hitting .071. And Bahena with 2 outs. That'll be a swing and a miss. Yeah, it's one of those things. In other sports, you can say it. Like basketball, yeah, you got more of an argument because there's only 5 on a court. You play offense, you play defense. The ball goes through you a heck of a lot more. With baseball, Roberto Clemente was one of the greatest of all time. Oh, he got him, and that's going to be the end of the second. Rick Bahena with the strikeout. And we go to the bottom, it's still 0-0. Bob Horner comes up. This series has been crazy. It had 2 games with more than 10 runs. And until the crazy 8-6 Chicago game, where they played the Blue Jays, and that'll be a strike, where Chicago scored all 8 runs with 2 outs. Until that game, then, quite frankly, this was the highest scoring series. Everybody has a DH now, so that's why we're playing it. And it's going to be 2-1. I never like the pitchers batting because the reason is it's just very simple. It's like making Dan Marino play free safety. Why in the world, and that's going to be a strike. It's like, why in the world, when you make a specialized position, do something just so they get out? It doesn't make sense. It'll be inside 3-2. You know, it's different in a sport. It's a cricket rule. That's all it is. And it'll be a base hit. And it is a base hit here. So Horner will get on first. Horner's had a great series. And Bob Horner will be on first. Yeah, I absolutely used the DH. Because quite frankly, you know, why would you make Steve Carlton hit? It'll be a strike. The people that usually say, as Bob Watson will come up, he hasn't had a hit all postseason. The people that say they love the pureness of baseball usually don't watch many games. That's the thing. The people that say, oh, the umpires having no replay and all that, oh, I love that. They usually don't watch many games. They're just thinking about a time and a day that never existed. So the 1-2 in the bottom of the second. And it'll be outside 2-2. Now, I'm somebody that usually likes the older rules than newer rules. I usually like the older rules. And that'll be fouled off for Watson. But anyway, you know, I hate the three-point line in basketball. And I would love it if college basketball had a 45-second shot clock and no three-point line. Struck him out, and Watson goes down. And Steve Carlton, the second strikeout.
The catcher, Bruce.
Oh, look at Steve. Good night there. And Bruce Benedict at 267. And that'll be a ball outside, 1-0. Bruce has 2 RBIs in this crazy series. Bottom of the second, if Philadelphia wins, they go to the NLCS. And they'll throw to first. He's safe. He gets back. The 2-0 with 1 out. That'll be 2-1. 2-1 with 1 out. Bottom of the second. They're going to second. It's a hit, run, and a base hit. They're right where the gap was. They're going to throw to third, and he's going to be in. He's safe, and it's first and third with 1 out. And here comes Atlanta. They are red hot right now. And the throw to third. He's safe there. He opened that up with the hit and run. And too late for Mike Schmidt. He doesn't even try the tag. And now in sacrifice position for Glenn Hubbard, who earlier in this series had a 2-run home run. That'll be a base hit. It's now 1-0 Atlanta here in the first, in the second. And Atlanta scores first, and they're on the board. Glenn Hubbard. Oh, Glenn. Upper changeup, and he hit it on the ground. It could have been a double play, but he hit it right in the gap. And Atlanta has taken a 1-0 lead. Leads have not been safe here, and here's Chambliss 1-0. Carlton has not had a good series. Chambliss is 133 with a home run. You're right, HC0023. They are trying anything. They're batting very aggressively. They are batting very aggressively against Steve Carlton. The 1-1. And Chambliss, you remember him in 1976, hitting that home run that flooded the field and instituted a rule change. And the rule change says that if you hit a home run to win a game and the fans flood the field, you don't need to touch the bases. You don't need to touch the bases. And that's called the Chris Chambliss rule. Many people forget that. That'll be a foul ball. 3-2. The 3-2. Hard hit and a base hit. That'll go to center field. But they have a 27 speed, and it'll be the bases loaded here in the bottom of the second. And thank God they're getting to Carlton early. And Philadelphia's having trouble. And here's Terry Harper with 1 out. Bottom of the second. That'll be a strike up high. A lot of Steve Carlton's pitches. That's in the postseason. He's hitting .250. A lot of Carlton's pitches have been high tonight. And that'll be 1-1. That's usually your nerves when that happens. Same with quarterbacks in football. When their passes, that's what they say in the big games. Aim for the person's lower thighs, and then that way your nervousness, it'll hit them in the numbers. Swing and a miss, it'll be 1-2. 1-2. Struck him out, and there's 2 outs. And the sacrifice goes. And now they have to have a true base hit. They have to have a true base hit. You can see right here it is 10 inches on the brake. The spin rate is, that's my engine RPM. 2,267. I live in Chiang Mai, and whenever I go up the hill, my engine goes that fast. And it also burns up too. Smells like somebody's baking a tire in my engine. And that'll be a strike for Brett Butler. Remember in the first inning he bunted and got on, but the problem now with the bases loaded when you bunt, what'll happen is it'll be right in front of the plate. They'll just step on it. Swing and a miss here. 0-2. Carlton could get out of this inning and it could be big. Because we're talking about the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves not getting a lot, and that's going to be fouled away. This is a big moment in this game. Because you're not going to get many chances against the Phillies. The 0-2. Oh, inside. He had to get out of the way. If he got hit, it would have been a painful ball. There's no way they would have let him take first on that if he didn't jump. Struck him out, and Steve Carlton can feel it there. Glenn Hubbard, though, in the bottom of the second, he gets the RBI, and it is 1-0 after 2.
The first baseman,
Tony Perez, hitting .455, former Cincinnati Red. Big Red Machine in 1975 and 76 was the first baseman there. They have Tony Perez and Joe Morgan. And I don't think I see Morgan yet, and that'll be ball 1. He was 2 for 4 with a double, and Rick Bahena has been working quickly. 15 pitches in the first 2 innings. That'll be fouled back 1-1. That's a 7 and an 8 or an 8 and a 7. Or 6 and a 9 or a 9 and a 6, one of them. A swing and a miss, and Behenna's looking good. 7, 8, 9 coming up the bat. And high pop fly underneath. That'll be easy, one out. Dale Murphy underneath. I love broadcasting series because of the storyline. And one of the storylines that we end the momentum, you pick up on all of that. And one of the storylines you get is Atlanta, who survived the last game, is now looking very good in this one. But you never know, momentum can turn, and Maddox takes it low for a ball, 1-0. So from Rick Behenna now, and that'll be a strike, 1-1. Game 3, NLCS. Game 3, NLDS. Game 5, My goodness, I'm all over the place. You can tell, I'm like Steve Carlton. I'm all over the place. It's Game 5 of the NLDS. It was 3-0 Phillies. Atlanta won the last game. It's now 3-1. But it's 1-0 Atlanta trying to send it back to Philadelphia. On the ground, it'll be fouled away. Gary Maddox is one of the more underrated hitters in Phillies history. When you talk about great Phillies, and of course I say that, and he strikes out right as I say that. But Gary Maddox hitting 400 for the series. People don't talk about him when they talk about the greatest Phillies, but he had so many good seasons. Here's Savon De Jesus at 188. Oh, there's a line drive to Horner at third. And that's going to be the end of the third for the Phillies. They go to the Braves. And it's at the bottom of the third, Ramirez, Murphy, and Horner. Here's Rafael Ramirez, 0 for 1 today. People forget the manager of the Atlanta Braves now is Joe Torre. And that'll be fouled off, 0-1. Rafael Ramirez, in the last 4 games, he ended up scoring 2 runs. But yeah, Joe Torre is the manager of the Braves. And Dallas Green for the Phillies. Short to first, 1 out. Thing for Atlanta is they can't put their foot off the brakes. Because if they do that, Philadelphia's liable to get a quick 2 on you and take this series 4 games to 1. Here's Dale Murphy. He's 0 for 1, and there's the strike. And I laugh about Steve Carlton. I hope my night goes like him. And it's swallowed up at first by Perez, 2 out. I hope that my night ends like him, all over the place early and then streamlined to a good finish. Carlton has 50 pitches, though, so that bullpen will probably come into play later on. And here's Bob Horner. Who knows, though? Steve is a strikeout pitcher, and strikeout pitchers use way more pitches than those that are spot pitchers. And that'll be a strike there, 1-1. People forget how many pitches Nolan Ryan actually threw in his career. It was way more than Greg Maddox. And it was actually way more than, well, no, Tim Wakefield was a knuckleball. That's different. That's not a power. That's a base hit by Bob Horner, who's having a great series. He had a great line drive catch at the top of the 3rd inning, and he gets on for a single. Talk about underrated, Bob Horner. When's the last time the only time I heard of Bob Horner before this was the brawl against the San Diego Padres in 1984. The crazy brawl there. And the pitch, that'll be a strike, 0-1. Nolan Ryan threw so many pitches. But he also, Tim Wakefield, a knuckleball pitcher, is a strikeout pitcher. Because if anybody hits a knuckleball pitcher, it's usually all over the place. And it's usually hard. It'll be 1-1. Spot pitchers like Greg Maddox are contact pitchers. And that's going to be a strike. They could go 9 innings and throw 91 pitches. They can do that easy. The 1-2 with 2 outs. And that'll be on the ground. Schmidt to Perez. He got it, 3 outs. And Atlanta had a great second and a terrible third. And right now it's still 1-0. Philadelphia coming to bat. Well, it seems his playoffs are taking a long time. But when you think about it, after these division series are done, the rest of the playoffs is only 3/4 of this first series. We have NLCS, ALCS, and the World Series. High and underneath, 1 out. We can have 28 games in the first round and 14 in the second, 7 in the third. Harper with a catch, so 21 the rest of the way after this round. Max. And here's Vaughn Hayes. His first at-bat since he got injured, his right arm. Diving after a ball in game 1, and Vaughn Hayes to right. Going back is the second baseman. And he'll make the catch. It'll be 2 out. Steve Carlton, it's 93. Rick Behenna's at 89. But Behenna only has 28 pitches. He has 12 pitches to work with. To say I have less than 10 in an inning. And here's Mike Schmidt, which you would need for a 90-pitch complete game. And here's Mike. He's 0 for 1 today. Ball 1 outside. Last 4 games, 3 home runs, 8 RBI. Do I need to say any more? It'll be 2-0. He's staying away. He's testing the outside to see if Schmidt, he can get an easy strike on him. And that'll be down below, and that is fouled off. Mike Schmidt, you just never know. It's 1-0 Atlanta here in game number 5. And that was a meatball to right field, and you knew Mike Schmidt was going to take that. It gets against the wall. They're going to throw to second, and it's a stand-up double. He hit that meatball. It was, as soon as it was thrown, it hung in the air, and I think the entire world knew where that was going. I think he guessed the wrong pitch or something, but you're not going to no-hit the Phillies in this series. The reason is you'd have to beat Mike Schmidt 3 times. And Bo Diaz is going to be down ball 1. Bo Diaz is the catcher. He's 0 for 1. He flew out in the second. He's 4 for 18 in the 4 for 18 in the series. That's a strike. Yeah, Schmidt, Mike Schmidt broke up the perfect game. It was a perfect game so far. So this thing is going to be the 1-1. High and 2-1. Chicago and Toronto. Chicago had, of their 8 runs, they had 8 runs when there were 2 outs. And that's going to be ball. If you watch my channel, the Champions League game today, the Houston Astros of 2017, Carlos Correa did an amazing feat. He walks Bo Diaz, and it'll be first and second. So Rick Behenna, a little bit of he had a great first 28 pitches, and the last 9 have been kind of And here's Joe Morgan, 0 for 1, and Joe always comes up. That stare of that batting stance is legendary. I'm sorry, that is. And that's going to be a ball outside, 1-0. Joe Morgan might not have the stats, but he sure is clutch. And Morgan to right field. This one is back. And back near the warning track and caught though. And the Phillies don't do any damage. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Benedict, Hubbard, and Chandler. Here's the catcher, Bruce Benedict. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the second inning. For Steve Carlton, is he going to be the Carlton of inning number 2 or inning number 3? Oh, yeah. Every Atlanta fan was choking on their own tongue when he hit that one. Benedict short to first, 1 out. DeJesus to Perez. When Morgan hit that ball to right, and there's Devon DeJesus, he's been good defensively. Whenever he hit that to right, Joe Morgan, I think everybody was like, oh my goodness. If you're Atlanta, you're like, oh my God. If you're like Philadelphia, you're like, all right, keep going. Lynn Hubbard 1 for 1 today. He got jammed. And underneath Bo Diaz, the catch, 2 outs. Bo looking good. And here's Chris Chambliss. He singled in second. He's only 3 for 16. He has a home run and an RBI. And it'll be a ball inside. You never know in baseball. Each inning is like a different game, really. Everything wiped clean. You never know which ones will be the big ones, and that's 3 outs. Atlanta is still clinging to a 1-0 lead. We go to the 5th. Philadelphia wins. They end the series. You can always tell in a 5th game when you got control of it, because you're not even thinking if Philadelphia wins that it is the end of the series. And that'll be fouled off 0-1. You never think that because they haven't threatened. And here's Gary Matthews. Matthews is hitting 6. There's Gary Matthews and Gary Maddox. And Matthews is 0 for 2. Matthews and Maddox both for Philadelphia, and he struck out Matthews his second time, striking him out, and that'll be Rick Bahena's 4th. 1 out in the 5th, and look at that, fold him again. Here's Tony Perez. You can also tell by that stance, it must be the hitting coach in Cincinnati, and that'll be dived, but he misses, and the ball goes to the ground. So Perez will get on first, and that is Rick Bahena's 2nd hit he's given up. He struck out 4, walked 1 in 43 pitches, 4 1/3 innings. He had 28 with 2 outs in the last inning, but then there were 3 batters, and that took a lot. It'll be 1-0. Here's Gary Maddox. Matthews and Maddox, I always mess them up. Maddox is hitting .389 in the postseason, but he is the underrated Philly. And low ball 2. They're keeping it away. Maddox was 1 for 4 with a single. I could see him getting on in 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Bahena and 3-0. Perez will be Devon DeJesus, will be up next. I was going to say with Perez, he's got that sort of same stance, so he's a righty and Morgan's a lefty. The 3-0, and that'll be a walk, a 4-pitch walk to Gary Maddox, and now Devon DeJesus will come up. And it is sort of a jam for Rick Bahena. Very, very loose in calling that, but you know, now is when Atlanta is thinking about losing the series. Bahena, and that'll be a hard shot. Line drive, it'll be 2 outs. What a catch! What a catch! And DeJesus with the out there. And here's Bob Dernier. Now, Dernier was Vaughn Hayes' replacement, but he's also in the game with Vaughn Hayes. They'll be high ball 1, 1-0. Last 3 games, he's hit .308. You know, baseball's a sport where you want to see the numbers. You don't want to see the actual stats. You're like, he's hitting .308, that's good. And it says 4 for 13. You're like, that doesn't sound great. But anyway, it's going to be 1-1 with 2 outs. Bahena, and that'll be on the ground. He dives, it'll just knock it down. And he has that's Dernier with 92 speed. He gets on, and Joe Torre's going to come out and talk to Bahena. 2 outs, top of the 5th. This could be huge for Philadelphia. Von Hayes 0 for 2. Big for Bahena. Inside, ball 1. When you start a bases loaded batter with ball 1, it changes everything. Remember, Von Hayes was hurt in game 1 where he went 0 for 2 and had 2 walks. He's 0 for 2 in this game, so he's 0 for 4 total. 2-0 now, and now it gets very interesting. You got a very hittable pitch coming up here. Rick Bahena only 53 pitches here in the top of the 5th. The 2-0. 3-0. Oh my goodness, they could walk it in. Mike Schmidt is on deck. Oh, this is so big now, Rick Bahena. The question is, do you pull the trigger on 3-0 and hit this? You know where it's going. The 3-0, 3-1. And the fans here, they know it's all riding on this pitch. The 3-1 to Von Hayes. He's going to try and jack this. They walk him, and it's 1-1. It looked like it was in the strike zone, and now Mike Schmidt will come up. Oh, it looked like it was in there. And Von Hayes gets to first. And this is a face that, if you're Atlanta, you don't want to see up. It's the 5th inning. In game 1, he hit the grand slam in the 5th inning. Now the base is loaded in game 5. Oh, that was almost a grand slam there. He's had 8 RBI in the last 4 games. He can really make Atlanta feel this. The 0-1, 2 outs here in the 5th. Bahena. And that'll be on the ground, fouled off. Now 0-2. The biggest thing here is you take the patience out of a batter at 0-2. Down below 1-2. He won't chase that. 1-2 with the bases loaded. Bahena. Oh, so close, but it's a ball inside. It'll be 2-2, bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. This could be a series changer here. The 2-2. Oh, it looked like it went through, and it's 3-2. Oh, it looked like a strike, and Bahena's upset. Now we got every bulb on the scoreboard lit. The 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. The 3-2 from Bahena. On the ground to first. He dropped it. It's on. Will he get him? It is safe. It's now 2-1. He dropped it. He dropped it. Was that Chris Chambliss? That was Chris Chambliss. And right there. Would that be a base hit or an error? We don't know. It was hit and Chambliss dropped it out of his glove. Bo Diaz, and that's a strike. Now the Philadelphia Phillies lead 2-1. If Philadelphia holds on, the Expos and the Phillies will play for the NLCS. Down low, 0-2. Rick Bahena, 25 pitches this inning. The 0-2, they're now down 2-1. Struck him out, and it'll be the bottom of the 5th. Bahena could have been a lot worse, but it is 2-1 right now. Philadelphia leads Atlanta. Yeah, this could have been a lot worse. Like a lot worse.
The right fielder, Terry Harper.
So Terry Harper now. Batting ninth for Atlanta. Now it's a role reversal. It'll be 1-0. Steve Carlton is not mulling through Atlanta. He's having some hiccups. So Harper was in right field. He's a guy that on a fly ball, he dove after it, and it hit his glove and it came out, but it wasn't an error. Harper. Morgan to Perez. Cincinnati to Cincinnati. 1 out. And here's Brett Butler. 7 for 20 and an RBI. So here's Brett. And that'll be fouled it off. You're right there, HC 0023. You're right. That was a huge strikeout. That thing could have been ugly. There's the bunt. It'll hit the ground. They'll pick it up. They'll throw to first. He's safe. Oh, what a bunt by Brett Butler, his second of the day. He needed that. That was a little bit, I think, farther than what he wanted. There he's going to second. He's going to throw to second. And this time he's safe. He's safe this time. And you can see it 19 miles an hour. So here we go. Rafael Ramirez 0 for 2. They took away the double play. A strike there, 0-2. Last 4 games hitting .286. The 0-2. High and fouled it off. Everybody with their towels now. They're open, the 0-2. Down below, and they'll go to third. Butler, the throw in, he's safe. And now it's sacrifice position. They can get a sac fly and tie this game. And it was in the front, Bo Diaz, and he couldn't get him. So here we go. Rafael Ramirez, 0 for 2, 1-2 pitch. And no. Even a fly, even a short ground ball or a medium hit ground ball to first base will score. Oh, it's a broken bat. He's coming home. It's gonna be 2-2 with 2 outs. So they do tie it up. Brett Butler scores. It was a broken bat. That's exactly what they needed. Look at the broken bat. It's exactly what they needed. And here's Dale. And that'll be a strike. So Atlanta gets back. And Murphy struck out and grounded out. So Atlanta doesn't have to worry about being 2-1 for the rest of the game. It's 2-2 here. It'll be 1-1. As here's Steve Carlton now. He'll get Dale Murphy to pop up. Running in. Left fielder, and the catch is made. Well, that's Vaughn Hayes with the catch. And we end 5, and we're now tied at 2. This has been a crazy series. Here he is, Joe Morgan. Whenever you're a former Cincinnati Red, he's hitting .222. His home run was the one that actually got that game. Look at the stance. It is intimidating. That's the right field, and a little blooper, 1 out. Didn't go as far as the intimidation would look. I think it's more he was a former Cincinnati Red, and when you get him and Tony Perez, and you think about the clutch hitters they are, and then you get Gary Matthews, who's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. He's 1 for 16 in the series. That's it, 1 for 16, and had a double. And that'll be 1-0. So Rick Bahena, he had a few innings of cruising. And the last couple have had a lot of pitches to them. 2-1. Oh yeah, these are two good teams. Atlanta finished behind the Dodgers in the West. In 1983, East and West didn't mean too much. Perez is on deck. And that'll be a foul, so he won't get on. It went foul right before across the base. 3-2. On the ground, second. Oh, he dropped it. That'll be an error. That is a big error. Oh, that is an error on Hubbard. That's a big one. That is a true error. Oh, my goodness. Chambliss, you can argue to be a base hit. You can't argue there. And Tony Perez. So back then, East and West didn't matter in the divisions because you played a balanced schedule. National League teams played everybody in the National League the same amount of times. American League teams played everybody in the American League the same amount of times. And that's going to be a ball 1-0. That's how in 1983, everyone but the Chicago White Sox in the AL West had a losing record. That'll be down below. Could be around the horn. 5, 4, 3. Good night. They go around the horn. And my goodness. Hubbard. Horner to Hubbard to Chambliss. And Bob Horner. 2 for 2 and 2 singles. So Bob Horner, an underrated Atlanta Brave, and it's a strike. I believe it was Atlanta in 1982 that won the West and played St. Louis in the NLCS. I have to check on that. I know the Phillies and Dodgers played in 83. There's the Padres and Cubs in 84. And that'll be fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2. Hubbard, and that is Horner, sorry, and that's fouled off. Bob Horner hitting 4th. High pop fly, center field. And underneath, taking another step, 1 out. It is tense now. It is tense. Bob Watson, 0 for 7 in the series, 0 for 2 here with the strikeout. They'll be outside, ball 1. He's in the 80s in pitches and only in the 6th inning. It'll be 2-0 to Bob Watson. 84 pitches and we're only in the bottom of the 6th. Schmidt to Perez, and that'll be 2 out. And Bruce Benedict. Benedict 1 for 2. That'll be a ball, 1-0. The other National League series, the Montreal Expos swept the Dodgers. They swept them 4 games to none. Good night. The 1-1 here. Oh, 2-1. Oh, they call that a strike. They're working the edges. Carlton getting the benefit, the 2-2. Underneath, Schmidt, what a play by Mike Schmidt. Throw to Perez and they get him. Oh my goodness. Mike Schmidt, he's a Hall of Fame third baseman. You don't get many third basemen that are Hall of Famers, but he laid out and got that one and got him out at first. My goodness, what a play.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for
Tony Brizzolara.
number 48.
This will be his third. He has 3 games under his belt, his 4th game. 2 2/3 innings pitched.
The center fielder.
And here's Gary Maddox now.
Maddox.
Brizzolara. It's 2-2 top of the 7th. That'll be a ball. They are making him really hit the strike zone here. Anything border high or low, he's like, nope. Brizzolara. And 2-0. That one was pretty much a true ball. The 2-0 by Brizzolara, and right down the middle and fouled away. Gary Maddox 0 for 1. Underrated Philly. 3-1. Avonde Jesus will be next up. You do not want people to get on with no outs, and Maddox fouls it away. The 3-2. Top of the 7th inning. High pop fly center field. That's going to be an out, 1 out. Avonde Jesus. Brizzolara. It'll be 1-0 in the bullpen. Gene Garber and Tommy Boggs. Here on a beautiful night here in Atlanta. It is so tense. The 1-0, and that'll hit. He's foul. Oh, that umpire better be careful. Better be careful. He called that foul before it went across the base. The 1-1. It'll be 2-1. Anything close, and they're booing. Anything close to that high-low boundary is not being called. The 2-1. Down low. This will be short to first. An easy 2 out. Atlanta wins. Philadelphia will host a game number 6. Bob Dernier, and then it becomes a little more feasible. Los Angeles was blown out. Atlanta has actually had big leads. And that'll be strike 1. Except for game number 2 where they lost 6-1. They very much could have easily won game 1 and 3. And they won 4. And that'll be the out there. They could be going for the win in this series here. But no, we're trying to stay alive. Hubbard, Chambliss, and Harper coming up. Here's Glenn Hubbard, 1 for 2. Glenn Hubbard had the error. They always make it up by hitting a home run. That's the thing. And that'll be a ball. This is a great game. This series has been unbelievably really good. It's 3-1 Philadelphia, but 3 of the 4 previous games have been really good. That 6-1 game was good until late. This is a great game here. And that'll be outside 2-0. Ed Farmer and Tug McGraw. The question is, how much do you want to use Tug? There will be an off day after this game. If Philadelphia loses, it'll be an off travel day. High 3-0. And that's going to be a strike, 3-1. Glenn Hubbard. There's nobody out. They're going to try and get somebody on first. Oh, they call that a strike. See, he's calling in and out. But up and down, the umpire's not going to give it to Carlton. He's not giving it to anybody. Carlton is the only starter left in. And that'll be high again, a swing, and fouled it off is Hubbard. The 3-2, bottom of the 7th. Hubbard, and that'll be foul. Oh, the ball boy with a barehanded catch there. That ball boy had a great catch. The 3-2. Struck him out. He went high, and so did Hubbard. He swung at ball 4, and Carlton has his 5th strikeout. Watch this. High. Good night. And he knew it. Chris Chambliss. That'll be fouled off for Chambliss. Carlton, this will be number 100. Oh, there's a base hit. And Chris Chambliss has had a good day today. He's 2 for 3. And he's looking good here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's Terry Harper. Harper, and that's a ball outside. A strikeout and a ground out for Terry. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Sharp hit to center field and caught. It'll be 2 outs. They got to get it in there. You don't want to be lazy getting it in. Somebody will take second base on you. Brad Butler now. 2 singles, both were bunts. And he ended up scoring a run. And here comes Butler, 2 for 3 today. Carlton still in. Over 100 pitches, low ball 1. I think if he walks somebody, that's going to be it. They're allowing the pitchers to warm up here in the NLDS. Game 5. High pop fly, center field, should end the inning. And it will. A missed opportunity by Atlanta. And we go to the 8th. Not the biggest miss, but who knows. Hayes, Schmidt, and Diaz. And here's Vaughn Hayes, 0 for 2, a walk and RBI. 0 for 4 in the series, and an RBI. I'm going to say this, the opportunity, and that's going to be a ball down low. See, he's not giving low pitches. And Brosa, yeah, he doesn't like it. Bresalara having trouble. It's 1-0 in the top of the 8th. Vaughn Hayes. And here it is. High into left field. This one is hit deep. And this is caught in left field, 1 out. That was a huge catch. If he loses that, Vaughn gets on second at least. With nobody out. Well, the starters, Carlton is still in. Tied in runs, tied in earned runs. Carlton giving up more hits. Less walks, and tied in strikeouts. Mike Schmidt, a double, a single, and an RBI. 9 for 19, 3 home runs, and 9 RBI. Let me say that again. In the series, he's 9 for 19, 3 home runs, and 9 RBI. And that's going to be a ball down low. You can't blame them if they pitch around him. 1-0 and 2-0. Mike hoping for something to hit. First 2 go outside. And that'll be a sinker, 2-1. Bresalara. 2-1, and down below, it'll be second to first, and a good defensive play there. 2 out. Here in the top of the 8th. Right to Hubbard. You know, Hubbard had the air earlier, no harm, no foul, but Hubbard, what a play. And now here's Bo Diaz, who's 0 for 2. And that'll be a strike. 0 for 2, he walked in the fourth. He is a .211 average. And Brizzolara here in the eighth. Diaz, a base hit. That was an easy shot for a single. Man, he could have thrown to first and maybe got him. Diaz is 26 speed, but he won't be ran for because he's a catcher. But here's Joe Morgan, and you know Joe, he's always big. And that'll be a ball inside, 1-0. He is always clutch. He's 0 for 3 today, 4 for 19, but his home runs and his 2 RBI, his 1 home run was huge in game 1. His RBI was big, I forget what game there, and Morgan, it'll be 1-1. We might see extra innings. We might. This might be a big one. Down below, and it'll be 1-2. 2 strikes to Joe Morgan. 2-2. I agree. HC0023, we might see extras. And that'll be fouled again. Morgan always stays ahead, but they have 26 speed at first. So it would really have to be an unbelievable hit for Bo Diaz to score now. Brizzolara. And that'll be fouled off again. Morgan is staying alive at 0 for 3 today. Brizzolara. The pitch. Oh, inside 2-2. They wanted that one. Morgan again. The 2-2. He's still up. Down below 3-2. Gary Matthews is on deck. The 3-2, top of the 8th. Oh, he went to what could have been ball 4. It was in the square, but the umpire didn't call that all day. He's not going high and low. He's going east and west. He's not going north-south. The 3-2. In the middle and a base hit. So Diaz was going to second anyway, and that's an error on the throw, but that's okay. Nobody moves up if you're an Atlanta fan. It was a 3-2 with 2 outs and a runner on first, so Bo Diaz was going on the pitch. And Joe Morgan, you can see he was already going, but Diaz only has 26 speed. So he's not going to be able to get to third. But here's Gary Matthews, who's 1 for 17 in the series. And now this becomes an extremely important at-bat. All of them are, but this one is so big. And let's see, Brizzolara. Can he get out of this in the top of the 8th, a 2-2 game? Swing and a miss there, 0-1. You got to realize that the umpire's not going north and south. And they're going after these north and south ones. High, and you can see there it's 1-1. Brizzolara knows that this is just a 1-1. Down below, and that's a base hit. Bo Diaz is around third. He could come home. Dale Murphy will throw, and it's going to be 3-2 Phillies. Oh my goodness. And the Phillies have a 3-2 lead. And they do all this with 2 outs. And now it's panic time in Atlanta. A new pitcher, Tommy Boggs. He's been in 2 games, pitched 1 2/3, walked 1, struck out nothing. Righties hate him and lefties will tolerate him. So Tommy Boggs comes in. He's got to stop this. A base hit by Perez might win the series. Oh, he went after that waste pitch, 0-1. If Philadelphia wins, Philadelphia wins the series 4-1. If Atlanta wins, we go to Game 6 in Philadelphia. Anything can happen to right field. This is back, but caught. So the Philadelphia Phillies, Gary Matthews. He was 0 for 3, then he got that hit. And Philadelphia 3-2 lead. Ron Reed, 1 game, 1 inning, 1 strike, and 1 walk. Righties hate him and lefties love him. And Rafael Ramirez, he's 0 for 3. Now Atlanta has to score a run in 6 outs or it's all over. So here's Ron Reed, and that's an opening strike. In the bullpen, you got Al Holland and Tug McGraw. And they're going, and you need people going in your bullpen just in case. And Rafael Ramirez, who's 0 for 3. The pitch, that'll be a strike. And Ron Reed is just overpowering. 3-2 Philadelphia. Against Atlanta, the 0-2. Down low, 1-2. Philadelphia looking to end the series here. Down low again, though. Umpire not giving up and down. He's not giving north and south. So Ramirez now, the 2-2. Down below, it'll be short to Jesus to Perez, 1 out. If Philadelphia holds on, then there's Carlton, 7 innings pitched, giving up 8 hits, 2 runs, all earned. Striking out 5, no walks in 104 pitches. If Philadelphia holds on, they will play the Expos. And they will have rest. And they will play the Expos in game number 1 of the NLCS. And the Phillies will host. The Expos come out of the wild card round. So they will be on the road even through the World Series unless Toronto makes the World Series. They're 2-2 in that series. It'll be 1-1 to Dale Murphy. It's 3-2 here. 1 out, looking for somebody to get on. Reed. Murphy jammed him. And Joe Morgan will run under and make the out 2 outs. And this is getting a little bit crazy now, and Ron Reed, that was out of the strike zone. The umpire's not giving that all day. And here's Bob Horner. And outside, 1-0. Horner 2 for 3, 2 singles, and he scored a run. 421 average for the series. 3-2, bottom of the 8th. The 1-0, Horner to right. And coming in and making the catch, it's 3 outs. And Atlanta's down to their last 3 outs of the series. Maddox to Jesus and Dernier looking for insurance. Here's Gary Maddox. 0 for 2, a walk and a run. Top of the 9th, we should call this the Geico inning. There's that east and west we were talking about. But no north and south help. We call it the Geico inning because everybody's looking for insurance. Especially Philadelphia. The 0-1, and that'll be fouled off. Quickly 0-2. Again, Boggs wants to get the outs quickly. He doesn't want to keep the Phillies hanging around. The 0-2. And he went after that one that was outside. Gary Maddox has an eye for hitting, no matter where that is. And they tried to tempt him too much. But Boggs, the 1-2. Struck him out, 1 out. So Matthews will sit down. And good night. Here's Ivan De Jesus. I think that was Maddox that sat down. Ivan De Jesus quickly 0-1. And if Atlanta can keep Philadelphia from scoring, they're going to have a shot in the bottom of the ninth. You might say, oh, it's just like any other inning. It's not like any other inning. The pressures are so unbelievable. And it's 0-2. That's the lower limit, the southern limit to that strike zone. And that'll be 1-2 with an out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the ninth inning, it's 3-2. Inside, 2-2. The Phillies 3, Atlanta 2. 1 out, top of the ninth. Hard hit, and that'll be a base hit to right field. Now he's got 74 speed. And he'll go to second, and he'll be up. A stand-up double for Ivan DeJesus, the shortstop. And Tommy Boggs has to be careful. Bob Dernier, 1 for 4, and that's a strike. Unusually low call there. He singled in the 5th. He's only hitting .294. 0-1. Inside, 1-1. The 1-1. High pop fly. This will be 2 outs. 2 outs. Philadelphia, I don't know. Philadelphia's 3 outs away from winning the series, but they could also be a base hit away. And Vaughn Hayes, he flew out in the 5th. He hasn't had a hit, but he's also walked a couple times in this series. That'll be 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Vaughn Hayes. Here in the top of the ninth, and Vaughn, that'll be low. Oh, Horner, and he hits the ball on the ground, and Horner drops it. Is it going to be an error or just a hard hit? It's a hit. And it was a hard hit. And now here comes Mike Schmidt. You want to talk about can end this game in a hurry. But again, they got Bo Diaz coming up next, so Tommy Boggs will probably be around Mike Schmidt. And he'll be 1-0. 2 for 4, double, a single, and an RBI. He's hitting .450 in the series. 1-0. Top of the ninth. Down below, 1-1. Wade Boggs. 1-1. Oh my, and that was in the zone, and they didn't like that. With Mike Schmidt, you got to get everything going your way, and that would have been a 1 ball, 2 strikes. But it's 2-1 now in the ninth. Swing and a miss, it's 2-2. 2-2, top of the ninth, 3-2 Philadelphia. They lead Atlanta. The 3-2. Oh, it was high, and he jammed him there, but it's fouled away. 1 strike. 2-2 pitch. Away, 3-2. Bo Diaz would be next. He would be next, and Mike Schmidt 2 for 4. The 3-2. Right down the middle, and he fouled it away. Rare that Mike Schmidt doesn't park that in left field. The 3-2 with 2 outs. This could be the series. The pitch from Boggs. High and deep left field. This is back and underneath. And caught, 3 outs. It's nice, but Atlanta's Brett Butler with the 3rd out means Atlanta has 3 outs, or the Philadelphia Phillies will meet the Expos in Philadelphia for Game 1 of the NLCS. Well, here we go. Al Holland, 2 games, 2 saves this series, 2 innings, ERA of .450. And Bob Watson will come up. And I am shocked they're going to let him hit. And this is it. The Atlanta Braves, 3 outs away, and here's Al Holland. And high ball 1. Boy, if Atlanta can get on with no outs, that would be enormous. And Holland knows this is so big. This first batter, if they can get him out. The 1-0. And he fouled that one back, 1-1. Watson 0 for 8, I believe. The 1-1. Down low, that was ball 2, but he swings and fouls at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Watson. Struck him out, 1 out. And Al Holland has been looking good in the late recent games, and a big strikeout, getting that first runner out. Always having an out on the board, and they knew it. I was shocked they were letting him hit. And here's Bruce Benedict, 1 for 3. Holland inside, 1-0. He singled in the second inning, 5 for 18 in the series. 2 RBI. Today's 1 for 3. The pitch. A strike there, and that was a little unique. But it'll be 1-1. 1-1. It would be so big for a base hit for Bruce Benedict. The 1-1. And he fouls that off. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. On the ground. Schmidt picks it up. He throws to first. It's out number 2. And they're down to their final out. They are down to their final out, and we will have a Philadelphia Montreal Expo NLCS. Can the Phillies get a world championship that they feel that they deserve? Glenn Hubbard, 1 for 3. A single and an RBI, 267 average in this series. They're down to the last 1. And here we go, Al Holland. Holland, and high pop fly, it's deep, 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 deep. It's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. Glenn Hubbard, Glenn Hubbard, Glenn Hubbard, Glenn Hubbard hits his second home run of the series with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th with their survival pending, and he hits a home run, and it's 3-3. Glenn Hubbard, he's done it before, he did it this time. Never won so big. Glenn Hubbard keeps Atlanta in the playoffs with 2 outs. With 2 outs. Oh my goodness. Glenn Hubbard. I was preparing already for Philadelphia, Montreal. And here's Chambliss. Oh, he's good at ending games with home runs. He's good at ending games with home runs, Chris Chambliss. And it fouls it off, 0-2. I was all prepared, ready for the monologue on Phillies, the season and everything. Down below, it's 1-2. 3-3. And it'll be 2-2. If they go back to Philadelphia, watch out. Struck him out, and we go to the 10th now. Glenn Hubbard Glenn Hubbard. Well, HC0023, you were a psychic. We go to extra innings. Glenn Hubbard. Oh, my goodness. Now we have Gene Garber, 1 game, third of an inning, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Righties love the guy, lefties like the guy. And now Bo Diaz, he's 1 for 3. We're in the top of the 10th. Gene Garber, and now what you got to hope. Oh, look at that. Oh, now he's going south with the strike zone. I umpired for 12 years. I wasn't the greatest, but I can tell you side armors get the lower strike zones because of the arm and release point. And you don't call high strikes with side armors. The 0-2. The Bo Diaz. And it'll be on the ground to first. Chambliss will race over 1 out. It makes Mike Schmidt and his at-bat, in which he did not get an RBI, makes it like a big-time defensive stop. And here's Joe Morgan. 1 for 4. He singled in the 8th. Incredible game so far. Garber inside, he'll be 1-0. Steve Petrosian is warming up. And this is, how will this end here in the 10th? Garber with 1 out. Oh, they give him the lower part of the strike zone. Joe Morgan's got to be like, what in the world? I'll tell you, that arm, the side arm, it really... I was all the way up, and that'll be on the ground, and that is Chambliss who knocks it down. They'll throw to first. They get Joe Morgan 2 out. My own career, HC0023, I refereed American football. I refereed basketball. I umpired softball, fast pitch. I never did slow pitch. I did fast pitch. And I did baseball. I umpired baseball. I did the Legion Regionals in baseball in Western Pennsylvania. It was, I don't know, I could get a strike zone. I think I got a good strike zone. But it was weird because I always went high and low, it never in and out. And when everybody loved the high and low, it got the games over with. Because, man, if you give a little bit high and a little bit low, but you keep it on the plate, everybody swings when they're up. It's 1-1. Garber, and that'll be high and fouled away. When you see people taking pitches, a lot of times your strike zone is too small or they don't know where it is. Struck him out. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Atlanta with all the momentum now. It's the bottom of the 10th. It's 3-3. We could go to game 6. This might be one of the better games. Terry Harper in right field now up. He's 0 for 3, lined out in the 7th. He's 1 for 7 in the series. And here's Al Holland. And Harper, oh, what a catch by Mike Schmidt. Oh my goodness, the line drive right to Mike Schmidt. Oh my, and here's Brett Butler. Brett Butler, both of his singles were bunts. And the pitch will be high, 1-0. Oh, Al Holland. High pop fly. This will be left field. Is it going to drop it? Will it drop? And no, it won't. 2 out. I believe that's Gary Maddox in center field. It's either him or Matthews. In 1974, I can't cheat and look off the back. And here's Rafael Ramirez. He's 0 for 4. Grounded out in the 8th. 2 outs inside, ball 1. The 1-0. 2-0. You know, Al Holland, he got 2 quick ones here in the 10th. You never know. Ramirez inside 3-0. It's these 2-out rallies that break these games open and win them. The 3-0. Strike there. It'll be 3-1. Al Holland now. The 3-1 to Rafael Ramirez, who's 0 for 4 on the day. Yes, he did go. It's 3-2. Coming back is Holland. And here in the bottom of the 10th, 2 outs. The 3-2 by Al. Low, that was ball 4, and Ramirez went after it. That's why he's 0 for 4 today. And one of the best endings of any game I've seen so far. We're not even done yet. High pop fly, jammed him. And it'll be to Jesus, the shortstop. And that'll end number 10. We go to 11. The Phillies win, they move on. The Braves win, we go to Philadelphia. We go to the 11th inning. And here's Tony Perez. He's 1 for 4, a single and a run. He's 6 for 15, a home run, and an RBI. And Gene Garber now in the top of the 11th. And Garber a strike. I don't know how many he can go innings, but if he gets another 10-pitch inning, he might go 3. Did he go? No, 1-1. It'll be 7, 8, 9. So here's Perez. And high pop fly to right. This is back, an easy catch, 1 out. A big threat, Perez is gone. And Tony of the old Cincinnati Reds of the 70s came over to Philadelphia here, and here's Gary Maddox. Gary's 0 for 3, struck out in the 5th. He is not having a great day. I built him up, and that's a strike. Look at that fan behind home plate in the red, right where it says the Bowman on the left. He is going crazy on every pitch. Boy, it looks like Alabama symbol, doesn't it? The 0-2 with 1 out. On the ground, up the middle, a base hit. For Gary Maddox, he's got 89 speed. And you got to watch the 89 speed, because it's things like this. It's things like this that really that break things open. A innocuous single. And Greg Gross, oh, he is an Atlanta Brave. Pinch hitting is Greg Gross. He's 643. This guy has tore up the Braves the entire series. I'm surprised they didn't start him. They were resting him for games 6 and 7 if necessary, or the Expos, which it almost made sense. But Greg Gross has had a phenomenal series. And yes, that's right, he's hitting 643. And he's played 3 of the 5 games. He's been absolutely phenomenal. One of the best when Gross is hitting second and Schmidt is third. That's absolutely phenomenal. It'll be 1-1. If Gene Garber can get past Greg Gross, he'll have a big shot here. Almost. It's just one of the best games I've seen in a long time. It's got so many things to it. Swing and a miss there. Joe Torre. He looks older in that picture. The 1-2 with 1 out. Oh, high and in. You don't want to lose Greg Gross, but then again, if you can get the 643 hitter, he's been phenomenal in this series. And that's why Greg Gross has been unbelievable. And with 89 speed, it's going to be first and third. Unbelievable. Greg Gross, and here's Bob Dernier's 1 for 5. 89 speeds at third in sacrifice position. It's 1-0. He singled in the fifth, but he can hit into a double play. If he hits into a double play, it ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the 11th. If he gets a fly ball, they get the lead. And it's 2-0, Gene Garber. The Phillies have left 10 on, the Braves 5. That's been the pattern all series. They haven't had consistent hitting. The 2-0 from Garber. And that'll be fouled away, 2-1. This is going to be a journey back. I don't know if Garber has the stamina to get through the entire length of one. That'll be a base hit to right field. It's now 4-3. And that is it probably for Gene Garber. And it's 4-3. What a big base hit by Dernier. And the changeup at 82 miles an hour. And good night there. And Dernier, and now here we go. Steve Bedrosian, 2 games, 2 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Righties hate him and lefties love him. And that's Steve Bedrosian. He's got to stop this or Philadelphia is going to walk away with the series now. 1 out. And Bedrosian, and that's a ball. See, it's a different arm motion. It's a different call. That's just the way it is. Von Hayes has a single and an RBI. He's 1 for 4 today. The 1-0, and that'll be a strike. So he took that one. On obvious takes, strike zones always widen. Now, it's not going to be called out of the zone. Well, I mean, you might accidentally. But that is high. They're not giving the north end of that. It'll be 2-1. 2-1 with 1 out, top of the 11th. And that'll be on the ground, 2-2. Bedrosian. And here's Von Hayes. Von Hayes, the 2-2, and down on the ground. Should be, there's 3-6-3, and they get him and they end the inning. Bob Dernier, though. Did he just win the series for the Phillies? We got to go through this all over again. Coming in is Tug McGraw. 1 game, 1-0, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, no walks, no ERA. Righties and lefties hate him. And in is Larry Milbourne at shortstop for Ivan DeJesus. And here's Dale Murphy. This is it. They get 3 outs. Dale Murphy, 0 for 4 today. He is due. Murphy, and that's going to be fouled off 0-1. You might wonder why isn't Tug McGraw? Well, in these playoffs, Jim Palmer and Tug McGraw, they're not the ones of the 70s and 1980 that you remember. They're not the same. It'll be 1-1 because Jim Palmer's here also, but he's not the Jim Palmer of like 1969 through then. And it'll be 2-1 to Dale Murphy, and you're seeing that here. 2-1 to Murphy from Tug McGraw. Murphy, and he'll foul it off. He was close. They're catching up to him. So here's Tug McGraw. He's looking for the strikeout. It's the 2-2 to Dale Murphy. Struck him out. He got that one. I saw that early. He messed up on that, and Tug McGraw loves it. He gets the first runner out. The first batter out. Look at the horrible miss. And Dale wishes he got it back. He wishes he got it back, and here's Bob Horner's 2 for 4. Bob needs to get on. And that's a strike. He didn't pull the trigger there, and that was the right time to do it. He's 2 for 4. 2 singles, and he scored a run. He's 8 for 20 in the series. A home run and 4 RBIs. So Tug McGraw, the 0-1 to Horner. And it'll be on the ground. It'll easily be Joe Morgan to Perez, 2 outs. And again, we're down to the final out. We're down to the final out. And here we go, Bob Watson. He has been absolutely horrible all playoffs. He's got to get on. He's got to get on base. Bob Watson is their last hope. And Tug McGraw, he might throw 3 down the middle. Oh, and a foul off. It's 0-1. Watson this is just absolutely intense. The pitch. It's going to be a shot. It's a base hit. It's a base hit. And they're still alive. They're still alive. They are still alive. Bob Watson got on base. Watson got on. This is incredible. And here he is, Bruce Benedict. If Benedict gets on, the unbelievable guy gets up. Benedict, and it'll be a ball. And he's going to be going to second base. What is he? He's safe. He's safe. He's in scoring position. A base hit could tie this game. Oh, he was caught in limbo, and they sent him to going. Bo Diaz right there. And he picked it up. He threw to second. What a gamble. Oh my goodness, he was in limbo. Bob Watson, I can't describe him. He's just Bob Watson, and he's on second. Here's Bruce Benedict, 2 outs. 1-0 pitch to Benedict. A strike there, he takes out. It'll be 1-1. In one of the best games in a long time, the 1-1, Tug McGraw. High pop play, it could be over, it could be over, it could be over, it's over, it's over, and the Philadelphia Phillies are going to the NLCS. Look at Dallas Green, look at the Phillies are on the field, Tug McGraw, look at the anguish of the Atlanta Braves. Look at this silence of the crowd, they're all silent and shocked, and the Phillies are just jumping around. And they know that they just got out of a big one. Oh, look at them just going out there, celebrating. Unbelievable. They have won the series here in Atlanta. Oh, my goodness. Out in the middle of the field. And the Phillies, they know if they would have gone back to Philadelphia, then that would have been trouble. The player of the game, Mike Schmidt, 2 for 5, 2 RBI, 2 for 5, a double and an RBI. Box scores now. Dernier and Schmidt are the only 2-hit Phillies. Milburn, everybody that played got a hit. Everybody that played got a hit. Schmidt had a double. DeJesus had a double. The RBI, Schmidt had 1, Matthews had 1, Dernier had 1, and Hayes had 1. Perez and Hayes grounded into double play. For Philadelphia, the pitching-wise, Steve Carlton, 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, giving up 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, no walks. The Phillies did not walk a batter all day. Did not walk a batter. Reed got the hold, Holland got the win, and Tug McGraw got the save. The wild pitches, 1 for Carlton and 1 for McGraw. For the Braves, Butler had 2 hits, Horner had 2 hits, Hubbard and Chambliss had 2 hits. the home runs. Hubbard had one that made me lose my voice. Ramirez had an RBI, his third. Hubbard had 2 RBI on the home run. No, Hubbard had 2 total RBI in the game. Both of his hits brought in runs. And the fielding, Hubbard had the error. Base running, Butler had a stolen base, and he was also caught stealing. Pitching, Bahena, who was he? Oh, yeah, that was about 3 hours ago. You know, we saw him pitch. He got in 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, struck out 5, he walked 3. And Brizolara and Boggs, Garber gets the loss, and Bedrosian came in for the rest of that inning, but Garber, you know, he just didn't have it. He didn't have the stamina. Quickly, the pitches, the pitcher analysis for the Phillies. Here's all of them. And now, Carlton, Holland, Reed, McGraw, and all of them. And now you have the Braves. Bahena, Bedrosian, Boggs, Rizzalara, Garber, and that is all of the Braves. Hitting wise for the Braves, here is everyone. And again, I do this so you can slow it down at the end and pause it and take a look at their stats. But here's Chambliss, and as we go through, I gotta show, I gotta say this, Philadelphia heading into the NLCS, Montreal has won 4 in a row, and they're the hottest team in baseball. Montreal will be the road team, and Philadelphia will be the home team for the NLCS. Now, they're going to get extended rest, which would cool off the Montreal Expos. It could cool them off. But because the AL has to finish theirs, and these are the Phillies batters. But the AL has to finish theirs. Each game, each one is... it is 2-2 Chicago and Toronto, and it is 3-2 Baltimore and Detroit. So they go to Baltimore for 2 games. Baltimore just needs 1 and 2 to move on. And Chicago and Toronto, those are 2 really, really good teams, and they will be fighting for, they're going to be fighting for Game 5, and if Toronto wins Game 5, they're going to have 2 chances to win in Chicago at Comiskey Park. But what a game. What an absolute incredible game. I want to thank everybody on here. HC0023, I want to thank you very much for being on. Always great to talk to you during the games. I think the games are a lot better when you type in stuff. I like going back and forth with you. And I know that people that watch the game, they love reading the comments there because you're saying what people are thinking. You're saying exactly what people are thinking. And that's great. It's a great back and forth. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you in future broadcasts. But our final from here is Philadelphia 4, Atlanta 3. Philadelphia wins this series 4-1, and they make the NLCS against the Montreal Expos. Philadelphia will host games 1 and 2. Montreal will 3, 4, and 5. And Philadelphia 6 and 7. Of course, those are if necessary. And Philadelphia with home field advantage, and they're going to be looking to go to the World Series. They did in real life in 1983. And they're going to be looking to go, and the Expos are going to be looking for their first ever World Series trip. Their first ever World Series trip. And they're hoping to rewrite history and win their first ever World Series. Well, the Philadelphia Phillies are hoping to rewrite history and win the 83 World Series instead of losing it. Well, that's great. Have a great day. We will see you later.